right, Chris, what are we having for dinner?
This is my version of goulash. This is ground turkey, a lot of fresh vegetables that I roasted, corn, zucchini, tomatoes, carrots, kind of a tomato sauce, and it's going to be delicious.
And how are we serving it?
In a bowl.
Okay, and
Like
then
a soup,
what's
but
this?
thicker.
What is this situation?
This is cheese bread
Ooh, hello.
with spring onions.
Nice. And then
English muffin bread.
I
Made the best, and I'm not even a chocolate chip cookie fan. These are the best ones I've ever had. In
I
my
was
life.
so I
You always make the best ones, which is why I make snickerdoodles. I know, but those are ridiculous.
Hello, this is Eric with Retire Boldly, Alaska to France. Today, the Parisian Boulevardier, which is a spin on a Negroni. Cognac. Campari. Sweet Vermouth. All equal measures. Some orange. A cherry.
what kind of cherry?
Fancy Starlino because we're out of Luxardo's. Do yourself a favor, get Luxardo's. Another winner.
Welcome to episode 8, Retire Boldly, Alaska to France. I'm Shauna.
I'm Chrissy.
I'm Eric.
And on the other side of the camera today is
Tracy.
Tracy's on the other side of the camera. She does not want to be seen.
We're going to have her come to the dark side with us.
So it was a bit crazy last week because I flew out of town to go do my show up in June. I'm a rock star. But it was an amazing show, and it's going to be released as a 3-part special on YouTube, I believe, by KTOO in Juneau. So I will let you all know when it has aired. Eric, on a whim, he wasn't going to come, and then I got there and I saw the scope of everything, and the other band members were like, why isn't Eric here? He's been to all these shows. So I made some calls very quickly, and Eric got the time off for a day. He flew up on Saturday morning and flew back with me on Sunday morning. So he was there for 24 hours. And
No regrets. Amazing show. What a spectacle.
yeah, and then we were at the bar later and we asked him, like, so what'd you think? What'd you think? Like, this is like the best show ever, right? And he said,
Top 3. I've seen like 40 shows.
I've seen better. Back. We had a bit of a technical difficulty, and we were in the middle of going over the reasons why we have been narrowing down to move to Bordeaux, and we were kind of talking each about what are the reasons that we kind of like that region. So, Eric, you've been narrowing in on that region. What is it about that specific locale that speaks to you?
The surrounding outlying areas are just stereotypical French countryside, like farms and little narrow roads and great housing opportunities. And then with Bordeaux, you're on high-speed rail, and there's probably light rail to some of the outlying areas. And just we want connectivity to explore the rest of Europe. And
yeah, I'm going to put up a graphic of the rail line that is around Bordeaux. And as you can see from the graphic, it's very well connected. So you can quickly get up to Paris. You can get out to outlying areas. So it's, as far as the high-speed rail goes, it's a really good location to be. Plus the public transportation within the city of Bordeaux is really, really good. Every place that I've read says that it's fantastic. So I'm excited to live in a place where I can just jump on a train, jump on the bus, jump on a...
Yeah, we don't have that opportunity here. Being on an island, we got 26 miles of road.
Bordeaux, as we are honing in on this area that really speaks to you.
So much quieter, slower. I mean, yeah, it's a big city. It's got lots of museums and great things to see, but you can just relax. People there are not in a hurry. And even the tourists there are not in a hurry because they know this is where you go and you just relax. Here we have, 10 to 15,000 tourists a day. Nobody's relaxed. Everybody's go, go, go.
So as we go along on this journey, parts of what we're planning are going to morph into different plans. And in my brain, I was actually talking to Eric about this, and we haven't talked to Chrissy about it because I was going to talk to you about it.
Surprise.
Exactly. I think this is kind of good. We can talk about it on camera. So one of the things that I had a realization about earlier in the week as I began this week of work, and 7 days a week is a grind, and it is 7 days a week, and it's difficult. I've been doing it for 23 years now, and I realized that our plan to move like around November 1st of any given year, that is so stupid and crazy, because I thought, okay, if the season ends, and the season kind of ends at the end of September, but then the ships go into October, all the way to October 19 this year.
And we don't know why.
And if I kept thinking, if I am doing this in 2026, how can I move out of a house and be ready to get on a plane 10 days later?
Right.
And I was just like, well, you're insane, Shauna, and you just think anything is possible. So I'm insane, and I think anything is possible if I think hard enough. So I had this realization, I probably cannot go right at the beginning of November, that I would probably have to move and get packed and do everything over the course of the winter, and then maybe move in the spring. Yeah.
Of 2026?
No, it would be 2027.
Because
I'd be moving.
Right.
I'd be moving. I'd be packing. I'd be selling the house. But like, to worry about showing our house, to worry about getting everything packed up,
Right.
all of that stuff while I'm working 7 days a week,
it's not realistic.
no. And what is the likelihood that Eric is going to pack up the whole house by himself?
None. I mean,
I did a bunch of your old house.
okay.
Which was a different situation because we were moving
In
everything
town. Yeah.
to a new house in
Right.
town. But
Here
to
you're
move,
selling everything.
to get rid of everything is a whole different situation.
It is.
Yeah.
So that was a realization that I had at
And
the
I
beginning
actually
of
like
this
that
week.
timeline better.
Yeah,
Gives me
it's-
more opportunity to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that timeline, because I thought,
I didn't think
How
you'd
is
be
she-
mad. I just
No.
was like, we're going to spring it on.
how are you going to stop? Because
Live!
last year it was like October 27th when you still had ships. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't come in October.
Tracy, over there in the corner, do you have any questions you would like to ask us?
So you're moving to this area as you don't need a car in this area? That's one of the benefits there, it sounds like?
So Bordeaux has great public transportation. We do live in a state where we are not able to just trade in our driver's license. So we would have to go through a very lengthy process, which would take about a year to test and do a driving thing in France. And it's all in French, which for us would be tough because we're all just learning.
Right.
Eric, oh my gosh, very exciting. Eric, tell him what you learned today. In case he needs to introduce the dogs.
Son nom est Marcus.
There's
My dog's name is Marcus.
Yay! Very good. Anyway,
Son nom est Paloma.
my name is his name is Paloma.
okay.
His name is
Well, we
Goulash.
we are moving to where they have wine, so my name might be wine soon. Marcus Mayhem, that's your name.
Son nom est Marcus.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. Anyway, we so as far as the driving goes, they have cars over there called voitures sans permis, which do not require any kind of permit. They are not allowed on a highway.
They're like a little smart car.
Yeah, it's like a teeny tiny little smart car, but you can drive them on any other roads besides a highway. So if we lived a little bit outside of a city center or, just on the outskirts of Bordeaux, then if we bought one of those cars, which we looked into the Fiat brand and they are about 12,000 euro. So we sell two cars here. We have the money from selling the house. We'll be able to buy a car over there. And Eric is determined that he is going to be riding a bike everywhere.
I would like to, yes.
And I'm guessing it's a lot easier to ride a bike there than here.
Yeah, he used to ride bike a lot when he lived in Seward, Alaska, and rode his bike from Seward all the way to Anchorage.
109 miles.
109 miles.
One day, nonstop.
Might want to start smaller than that, but hey.
Yeah, since it's been
You're right.
10
Yeah,
years.
because he rode a bike here when he first moved here, and he called me and he said that he had a flat tire, and I'm like, okay, I'll come get you. So I come and get him, and he's on the side of the road, and he is wearing...
What you wear on a bicycle.
Lycra.
We can all drive these cars. They are just a 2-person car, and...
I'll be strapped to the roof.
No,
Be quite comfortable.
only 2 people need to use it at one time, so like, a couple of people go to the market, and yeah, not a big deal.
Shauna and the dogs.
Shauna and the dogs go to the market. Yeah, but we also have thought about, we're still thinking we should probably rent for a while before we get there, just to make sure that that's where we want to be. And it's really lovely to look at all of the real estate that's on
Oh, it's amazing.
YouTube and to see the prices, because it's really some stunning real estate that's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful stone houses. But then you think stone houses, it's probably very cold. It's not, as well insulated. So there's lots to think about. And I personally don't mind a more modern looking house.
Right. No, it doesn't have to be thousands of years old.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be 500 years old to make me happy. Eric is...
I want roof beams. I don't
wants
want
beams.
a flat, low 8-foot ceiling. I'd like something a little higher that feels French.
But they do have modern houses that
Yeah, they
they're
have
built to
modern
look like
houses.
that.
Yeah. So,
That are insulated and have windows and
yeah.
Now, will you be
Central
looking
air.
at some properties when you're over there this October?
Yes. But there's a couple of different towns where we've seen some properties that are just absolutely beautiful in that region of like Bordeaux down to Villeneuve-sur-Lot and then up a little bit. And like there's like this golden triangle of area that is really beautiful and has some really beautiful properties. I am a little concerned about being in a flood zone now after the floods happened in France.
The Var region.
Yeah. And that was just horrible. I mean, we've had issues here, but flooding is, we're very, very lucky. We're very up high here looking out over the ocean. So we haven't had any of those issues, but here in town, we've had landslides from the rain. So,
and I live in a basement and get water in my front area gets water and my bedroom gets water.
Yeah. So we've been,
Good times.
everybody in town is kind of struggling with
Yeah, I mean, it's a rainforest.
more water than normal.
Normal, yeah. You can't, there's only so much the ground can deal with.
Yeah. Anyway. That's it?
That's it for the moment.
Tracy has 0 questions.
Maybe she's not coming with us.
She's totally going to be there because
I don't
we're
know,
going to
did
have
we-
a garden.
Did we even mention her coming?
We're going to
In
grow
the
these things called
unrecorded part.
vegetables that we can't grow here.
Recording, yeah. Gardening sounds fabulous. I miss that a lot.
We just don't have enough days of sun to grow.
So Tracy came up here to live in Ketchikan, and she has family here still, but she's looking to leave Ketchikan. It's very hard now. She has a grandbaby.
She's like,
So-
put her on a plane.
Yeah.
We're good.
But, grandbabies
Take
can
the
go to
dog.
France. I feel very, very lucky that my daughters were born here, but we moved to New Zealand. They went to school in New Zealand. They have New Zealand and U.S. passports. And that gives them more of a sense that they are citizens of the globe and not just one country, because you feel a bigger responsibility to other people in other parts of the world when you travel. And
Sure. You're less of a tourist.
yeah, and I feel very lucky that both of my kids seem to have a good sense of, I am not just an American, I am a human that lives on this planet that has responsibility for the whole kit and caboodle.
So one thing about being from here is I've traveled a lot, and there's a lot of travel opportunity in school here. Senior trip was Europe. I've been to Europe since then as well.
Japan. Lots of kids here go to Japan.
We just traveled. They go to New York. The ballet goes to New York every year. There's just lots of traveling here. Everybody goes to Seattle all the time.
It's our New York.
It's our New York. So yeah, I mean, we're pretty good about traveling. We know how to do it fairly correctly, without, international is always.
It's always tough because you got to
surprise.
spend the night in Seattle. Like when I'm going over in October, I'm leaving on my birthday. I got to overnight in Seattle, which is not bad, but still, you just, when you go, you just want to go.
Right.
And you always have to stop, spend the night,
Get another plane.
get another plane, get to the airport again, that whole thing. So
it'll be so nice to be able to take a train somewhere. In just a couple hours, you're somewhere else, even if it's, England or
yeah.
Italy or wherever, Paris.
The other thing about Bordeaux that for us matters a lot is the healthcare system there.
Yes.
I looked up today the top 10, the top hospitals in Bordeaux, and it was incredible. There were so many, and of course you've done more research than we
I have. Yeah.
Because you have some special healthcare concerns. But, Eric and I, well,
Yeah, we're getting older. We're not getting younger.
we're old.
I just cracked a molar 3
Eating
days
what? Tell them what you were eating.
Corn nuts.
Like a 12-year-old boy. So, a few questions. Would you rather, Eric and Chris, live in a city or the countryside?
Not right in the city.
Urban?
Urbanish.
Urbanish?
I want to be able to have a garden.
Okay.
We have to have room for the dogs. We need a fenced
Can you hear them
situation.
running? They got the
That
zoomies.
sounds like countryside.
But you can be a garden and be urbanish.
Of course. Of course.
I
it's gotten
would
dancing.
mind why we're renting to be like urban and get a
Sure.
taste of that because I've never lived in a big city.
That
So-
he's
I've
lived
never
his
had-
entire life in Alaska, and
I've never lived in a big
Fairbanks,
city.
Seward, and
Boise is not a big city.
Thorn Bay.
yeah, I've lived in
Japan.
London and Seattle, so I've lived in some big cities.
Yeah, I've lived outskirts of Seattle, and they were larger towns, several 100,000 people. So, but it still didn't feel like it.
I'm with you though, Eric. I would like to, if we're renting, to be
renting,
in a
yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're getting all that paperwork done and all of you have to go to appointments and things like that.
Figuring out
I want to be
everything
where
is.
the appointment is at.
Yes.
And not spend a whole day for a
Yeah.
Yep.
45-minute meeting.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
But
So-
yeah, I think I would like, yeah.
And we
I
want
imagine
cafes
us,
and outdoor stuff,
I imagine us in the countryside, sort of very close to a comfortable bike ride that you guys could do to a village that has everything.
Are we getting a
So
sidecar?
next door,
Yeah.
that's a bike for 2 people.
Or in our little electric golf cart.
Yes.
Our French golf cart.
Yeah, as long as we're like within 10 minutes by our little electric car, I'm
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have a little bit of yard for the dogs. Like, I don't want to take them over there, and I get that when we're renting, they may be confined to a smaller yard, but when we have a bigger
But it'll
place,
be walkable, so
yeah,
we'll be
I
able to take
want
them
the dogs
everywhere.
to be able to have some space to run and do this, the zoomies,
Yeah.
the thing that you keep hearing, the dogs. Would you rather have a garden or a wine cellar?
I'm going with garden.
Garden.
Really?
Even if it's just planters, it doesn't have to be
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree.
hectares of land. Just
So why can't you have wine and the
right,
planters?
I'm
right,
just trying to be fun.
right.
Why you gotta be such a
Why you gotta be
buzzkill?
such a buzzkill?
Have both.
And if it's a modern house, it's probably not going to have a wine cellar.
That's very true. But
But we could,
in
put
my
one
opinion, if we buy a case of wine, we don't have any place to store it. We just have to drink it,
right. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at that.
right?
And there's lots of wineries nearby, so they can store
Yeah, in the
wine
Bordeaux
for us.
region, so many beautiful wineries, and the Museum of Wine is there. I mean,
But
come
also, there's
on.
going to be fresh markets, so we don't really need a garden, I guess.
Well, it depends on where we live.
Flowers.
Flowers, but
Plants,
fruits,
shrubberies.
vegetables.
I don't know. I
Herbs.
was watching the one
Lemon
guy.
trees.
By here.
I was watching the one guy who's the British guy who went over and he literally just mows his lawn pretty
Yeah.
much. His video is just him mowing the lawn. And he's like making a new space in his garden. This is like a month ago. And I texted Eric and I'm like, we can't move to France anymore because a black snake came
no.
up
No.
and
There will be no
he was
snakes.
filming and like the black snake comes up as he pulls up a tarp And he just kind of stood back, and I was like, I guess we're not moving to France because we don't have snakes.
No.
So wine or garden?
Yeah.
Go
We
with
don't have
wine.
snakes here. It's too cold for snakes here. Oh my gosh, I could tell you the funniest
Thankfully.
story about a snake in my parents' house.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I do want a garden. I would love a garden. I need Eric to go out and just make sure that
They have
there's
urban
no...
gardens.
Marcus will be there to clear it of snakes.
Yes.
Right. You
Right?
will have to have snake aversion training like Ozzy.
Yeah, my aunt just moved to Arizona, and her dog, my grand dog, had to go through snake aversion training.
I'm sorry. No, thank you.
What? What is that? No thanks. I have snake aversion therapy. I've had it. I've completed it. I have a doctorate. Thank you so much for joining us again. Once again, I am Shauna,
I am Chrissy.
I'm Eric.
and this is Retire Boldly, Alaska to France. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and continue along on our journey. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.